Thank you for listening. I was thinking about what I should do tonight. I've published with the second hand almost from the beginning. I was talking to Todd earlier, and my instinct was to try and do something clever that makes me look intelligent or a good person. And the more I thought about it and thought about myself, the more it became clear to me that I actually should probably just apologize. Apologize for my presence, perhaps even my existence. But that's too abstract. So I want to be sincere, and I'm sorry. I know this is probably bringing the show to a dead halt, but I want to apologize to some specific people while I have the opportunity and a microphone. Sorry, I'm incredibly short. I have to lower this even more. I'm the kind of short where I'm always looking for guys who are shorter than me, and they rarely appear. So let me just bring this down. The first person I'd like to apologize to is actually pretty recent. It was a guy I saw. He was advocating for some children. I don't know where they were from. I think it started with the letter U, the country. I wasn't 100% sure. He had one of those clipboards, and he was very loud and committed to the cause, which I admired as I saw it, but I was also scared because I didn't want to give him any money. So as I passed, I sort of did that douchey move where I sort of looked down. Hopefully he wouldn't see me. And as I passed him, he actually didn't say anything, which sort of hurt my feelings. I didn't want to give him any money, but I kind of wanted to be asked. So sorry to you, sir, whoever you were, and the children you represented. I probably should have given you some money. Second person I'd like to apologize to, more intimate, is my mother. A few years ago, she got this rare nerve disease. Among other things, what it did was sort of withered her down and made her very weak, and she walks with a walker. So when she's out in public, as you would expect, the world has to kind of slow down around her, but the world doesn't want to slow down. So it creates this pressure where if you're with somebody like that, you sort of feel everybody's mad. And often I'm not as patient as I think I should be with her. Unless I see like a physically attractive woman, which is embarrassing to me, I'll kind of perk up and act like it's okay, like I'm a good son in that moment. So sorry to my mom for not for not being more patient or more physically attracted to her, which probably make me more patient. So sorry, Mom. She's not dead. I also have a mouse I would like to apologize to, a specific mouse. When I was 15, I found this mouse in the basement of our house. It had been kind of messed with by one of our cats, I think. You know how cats like to catch a mouse and kind of torture it, bat it around. It looked like it had been maybe bitten in the neck. And I don't know when the last time you've seen a mouse, but they have very dexterous faces, like almost human. And I remember looking down at it and feeling like just really bad. I was like, I didn't know what to do, basically. Like, it had this dexterous, suffering face. And I stepped on it and crushed its skull with my foot.
Humanize that fucker.
I know. I was almost crying as I did it. Like, it wasn't no sadism involved in the act. I wasn't proud of that moment. I just didn't know what to do. But I want to apologize to you, Mouse, for not picking you up and putting you in a bag and perhaps taking you to the hospital where you could have been fixed. If I found it now, I would have done that. In terms of sadism, though, like that was like a genuine moral dilemma where I wasn't sure what to do. I was confused. I was young. But I do want to apologize to all the insects that I killed as an 8 and 9-year-old, lifting up rocks and torturing them, pitting them against each other. When I got bored, like a god, just stepping on all of them, destroying entire anthills. That was wrong, and I'm sorry. Honestly, like I really am. Like if I could look into the eyes of every ant I killed, sincerely, I would apologize to you. As well as to the bluegill that when I was about 12, my friends and I would catch them and smash them against trees. I don't know why. Like we weren't angry about anything. We just were curious about what the insides of their bodies looked like. So I'm genuinely sorry to all of you bluegill. Finally, I think the last person I want to apologize to is this girl. I saw her on the train a couple weeks ago. Well, the first person I saw was this guy who looked just, when you see somebody on the train, they're genuinely sociopathic. Like there's people who sort of act that way, they affect that sort of persona, or people who are on drugs and kind of crazy. But then there's just people like, this guy was like crystalline sober, just sitting in his seat looking at people, regarding them as meat. You ever seen one of those guys? Like, just killing people in his imagination, piling the bodies in his head, adjusting them, to get him to like perfect ratio. I see this guy and I'm scared, obviously. I'm a coward, so I'm not gonna say, I'm just kind of standing there looking at him. A couple stops later, this girl gets on and she's got this almost like stereotypical country girl, like positive look on her face. And of course, he like senses that immediately and sees her, and he's kind of locked into staring at her. She's obviously his fantasy. And there's this weird moment where she saw him, and like he saw her, and I'm looking at them, looking at each other. And it was almost like they were meant for each other. Like she knows she's gonna get killed by him eventually, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you." It was almost like true love or something. And so I want to apologize to that young lady for not staying on the train to make sure she was okay. And finally, just thank you to Todd.